Do you have a strategy for attracting regular testimonials from your happy customers? Or are you leaving it all to chance? Are you one of those people who absolutely loves to read a happy review from a satisfied customer, and yet you feel self-centered and egotistical if you actively go out and ask for them? Now, we know all the information about why testimonials are really good for your business. There's so much been talked about in terms of anything you say about yourself potentially being perceived as a sales pitch, whereas anything that somebody else says about you is immediately deemed to have a lot more credibility and therefore a lot more truth behind it. So testimonials are an absolutely brilliant part of your sales process. But so many people I talk to just squirm at the idea of actively asking for them. So if that's you, I want to help make this easier for you today. But first off, I want to ask you to think about turning the tables. So if you've had a good, solid, satisfactory experience as a customer and somebody asks you for a testimonial, how do you feel? Do you feel as though they're being self-centered? Do you feel as though they're being cheeky in asking you for a testimonial? Or actually, do you feel really happy about the opportunity to chip in and support this person and their business? Because I think you'll find that that's actually what most people think. People really love the idea of giving you a great testimonial and being actively and outwardly supportive in that way. One question you might well find though, and it may be something that you ask yourself when somebody else asks you for a testimonial, is, what am I going to say? What is it I'm supposed to say? So let me help you think a little bit more about the steps that you could put in place in your business to actively encourage more testimonials rather than just leaving it to chance and hoping a few will pop through here, there and everywhere. So the very first thing you need to think about is, when will you ask for a testimonial? When is actually the sweet spot in terms of what it is that you deliver? So sometimes that sweet spot, and when I say sweet spot, it's the happiest moment for a customer as a result of the work that they have done with you or the work that you have done for them. So sometimes it's immediately after you have delivered the product or delivered the service. That's the point where they are at their most giddy with excitement about the work you've done, and that would be the perfect moment to ask for a testimonial. Sometimes it's actually a few weeks, possibly even a few months down the line. It may be that they've needed to embed the work that you've done together, or it takes a little bit of a while for it to filter through their business or for them to roll it out to clients, or whatever that answer is. So it may be that actually it's not always immediately that you need to ask for that testimonial. In which case that could just turn into a really nice customer service follow-up, which also comes with a request for a testimonial, and you never know, it might even attract a little bit more work with it as well. And occasionally the right time to ask might be 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through your service, because that's the point where the customer's most excited about what's going on. So that's the real first thing to think about. When is the right time to ask for a testimonial? When you've got the answer to that, then you can start to think about a process and start thinking about putting it into your regular reminder system or your workflow or whatever systems you use in your business to manage your work. Then you can just start to add this in as a natural step, so you don't have to remember and you don't have to do something completely different for it. Now, the next question for you to ask is, how will you ask and what will you ask? The question of what to write or what to say is very often one of the biggest ones, and it is one of the things that definitely holds people back. I'm sure you have those experiences of customers that have said to you 2, 3, 4 times, I must do you that testimonial. I'm definitely going to do you that testimonial. And actually the answer as to why it doesn't get done is often because they're just not sure what to say. So my recommendation to you would be to create yourself a little template and put together a series of questions or prompts that you can give to the customer every single time. And you can just let them know these are just ideas, they're just suggestions, but you get them to think about introducing themselves, saying what they've done with you, talking about why they decided to work with you, thinking about what things are like when they started working with you and what things are like now, so they quantify those wonderful benefits and advantages for you. How will you ask is another question. Is this a telephone call, Facebook message, an email? Is it part of some sort of regular customer touch point that you already have? Build it into your system. And then one final little thing for you to think about, and this might just tip you over the edge, I might have gone too far now, is whether you can incorporate video testimonials into what you do, because video is so powerful in building that connection with people. Now, you might have some clients that are totally comfortable on video, and that is amazing, and they will create a testimonial for you and everybody's happy. If your clients hate video, or they're not comfortable with it, or not confident, then what you can actually do is something like a two-way interview with something like Zoom. And then you can choose to either edit it so it's just the client talking, or you can leave it as the two of you as an interview. Because actually that way people can see the nature of the conversation, the tone, the interaction. All it does is flesh out that testimonial and create lots and lots of wonderful evidence about how fabulous it is to do business with you. So that's my challenge for you this week, is to think about a strategy, a regular, consistent strategy that you can support with a process and or system, so that you are regularly asking your customers for testimonials, so that you can constantly add these into your marketing and keep refreshing that marketing and having amazing client stories to share with your customers. If this completely bamboozles you, get in touch and let's talk about how I can help you with it.